Coming up on Mountain News this morning, there's some concerns spreading about certain crops growing in our region that may get damaged by chilly temps. And the family of a Wolfe County boy asks for some help in making his upcoming birthday a bit happier during his stay at a children's hospital.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is almost 6 o'clock here on your Monday, the beginning of the work week. I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning. And let's head over to Brandon for a look at those temperatures. And Brandon, I'm having my own set of issues this morning. This camera right here, camera 3, is blocking my view of you.
Oh, okay.
And it really bothers me because I like to see your reactions sometimes when I'm, and I don't know, it's really bothered me.
It's fair.
And they just moved it for me.
There you go.
It's like magic around here.
I listen to you.
Yeah, they do. Well, finally someone listens to me.
Exactly.
And I don't listen to you though when we talk about the weather.
What?
So. See?
Exactly.
Exactly.
All right, let's get into the forecast this morning. And Dakota, it's cold outside. I can tell you that. Let's take a look at Buffalo Mountain this morning. 18 here in Perry County at the Wendell Ford Airport there. So again, cold there, cold across the region. In Clintwood, could drop into the single digits before we get to 7 o'clock this morning. So we're watching them very closely. Cold everywhere. Keep an eye out for some frost this morning in some areas. So again, just be aware of that. I think 18 kind of the consensus number there as we head deeper into the morning. Your weather app forecast, we're going to see sunny skies throughout the day. It's going to take us up to right around 50 degrees this afternoon. A nice day as we head into the first part of the new work and school week. And we are in our final hours of winter as spring starts just after 5 o'clock this afternoon. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, even though spring begins later today, our region is experiencing some winter-like temperatures right now. Our Chandler Wilcox details how the cold temps are hard on vegetation.
Jumping up and down between 30 degrees and 70 degrees is not just difficult for people. Plants also have a hard time growing under that climate.
When that happens, we see that those warm temperatures, and then we see the cold fronts come through, and that causes them to we see those temperatures come down, and we lose the fruit basically.
Some plants have already started the growth process. Once they enter the blooming stage, freezing temperatures can halt growth for good.
Either we see some loss of fruiting, we can have the development completely lost, or we can actually see some of the plants scarring from the freezing to the fruit scarring from it as well.
While crops on trees can be hard to protect, there are ways to keep ground crops from feeling the freeze.
Once we get down in those teens, it's really hard to do anything besides possibly using some row covers, some cloths, those type of things, and it has to be in touch with the ground.
Long-term effects are unlikely unless temperatures start falling below zero.
We rarely see anything long-term effects, of the plant unless we see those temperatures really cold, like we did back in December and January, those minus 30-degree temperatures.
Conway says while spring crops can deal with this weather to an extent, farmers and gardeners should wait until 70 or 80-degree weather to plant summer crops. And Hyman, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Strawberries, blueberries, and apples are among many fruits that can be destroyed in the harsh temps. Well, a warming center is open in Johnson County for those who need to get out of the cold this morning. Johnson County Emergency Management says the center is located at 342 2nd Street in Paintsville. The entrance is in the back of the building. The warming center opened last evening and will remain open until 7 o'clock this morning. If you have any questions, you can call 606-789-4221. Heinemann Settlement School held its monthly Gather and Grow event since November to help each other recover from last summer's historic floods. This past weekend's theme was in honor of St. Patrick's Day. A free meal was provided by Black Sheep Bakery with a pinch of holiday flavor, including Irish soda, bread, and corned beef and cabbage. But beyond the holiday, it was a sense of community as recovery from the flood continues.
I think you could tell whenever people come, there's more of an atmosphere of like fun and joy and not so much heaviness from everything that happened.
We've all been hit really hard with the flood, and we've all crawled out, and this evening was a celebration. In a fashion everyone there knows well, they sang an old tune through prayer
in declaration that Hyman still has hope. One Wolfe County boy is getting ready to turn 7 in a few weeks. He'll be spending his birthday at Kentucky Children's Hospital. So his parents are working on a special surprise for him, and they're hoping you can help. Samantha Valentino tells us how.
This is Levi.
I'm fighting right now.
You are? What are you fighting?
Kids. That's why I don't have hair.
Last year, doctors found a large mass on the back of Levi's brain and around his brainstem.
2 days later, he was taken away for his 8-hour surgery, and it lasted about 10 and a half. But amazingly, he was up on his feet 3 days after that, working with therapy, doing everything he could to get strong again.
Since then, he's had 6 weeks of radiation therapy in Cincinnati and 5 rounds and counting of chemotherapy at UK.
He's done amazing, though, as far as getting through it.
The people in the radiation department loved to see him coming because he would wear different costumes every day. One day Spider-Man would show up, and one day it would be something scary like the rake.
Those costumes came in handy during his prank war with the nurses.
They got him and he got them. It was amazing.
When I had the rake costume on, tapped on the window, and the person looked there, and she freaked to death.
He's spent a lot of time in the hospital, receiving treatment, hanging out with his favorite canine counselors. He even lost his first tooth there. Now, Levi is getting ready to turn 7 on March 31st. He'll be celebrating his birthday at Kentucky Children's Hospital, so his parents are working on a special surprise.
One of his favorite things in the whole world is getting mail, checking the mailbox, those kind of things. So we wanted to ask anybody that will to try and pick up a card and put it in the mail for him for his birthday.
Levi's parents will collect the cards over the next few weeks and let Levi open them all in the hospital on his birthday. In Wolfe County, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
Well, if you'd like to help him celebrate, you can send him a birthday card. We have the address on our website at WYMT.com.
.606 Levi, I feel that with the hairdo. Again, we're all rooting for you, and we hope you have a great birthday. I'm going to try to get you a card in the mail here in the next couple of days. For the forecast today, it is cold out the door this morning. We're taking a look at teens and 20s as we head to the first part of your day, and even more headwinds are once hot spots now down to 21 this morning. Looks like Monticello's our new hot spot at 23, Prestonsburg's at 22, Pikeville's at 20, Jackson's at 21. That's just the 20s. Basically, everybody else is in the teens this morning, so bundle up if you're heading out the door. The reason you may or may not be seeing frost this morning is the dew points. They're very, very low, single digits in some locations. That means there's not a whole lot of moisture in the air, so there wasn't really much to freeze. In some areas, it was a little bit better, but some areas not so much. So again, just keep an eye on that. Breakfast forecast this morning as you head out the door, temperatures slowly going to go up. I do think we see those fall into the mid-teens there this morning, and as the sun comes out a little bit later on, they'll start to climb pretty quickly heading into the afternoon hours. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. Well, coming up as we mark 20 years since the beginning of the Iraq War, we look at the mistakes that were made during our conflict with the country. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
One of the most difficult decisions families make is the decision to put a loved one in the nursing home. Adding to